Hi, my name is Ashley Forsyth, and I'm the owner of Health and Fitness Meals and Your Way Nutrition here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And today I have with me Safari. Hey, Safari.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So Safari's awesome, and she actually works completely independently from herself from home, and she does a number of things. And we're going to talk a lot about her online boutique, Talia, and that's down underneath here. And she is also an influencer and a blogger. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you, Safari, and how you got going on all of this?
Yeah, okay, my name's Safari. I'm just from here in Utah, and I've been married about 3.5 years to my husband Ryan. Sorry, suddenly the sun came out and it's like
You look
blowing.
great.
It's fine. But basically, yeah. So we own Talia Boutique, and we've owned it for 2.5 years. We just hit our 2.5 year mark in July, so just over that. And yeah, pretty much my whole life I've wanted to start a little online. Well, actually, originally it wasn't an online store. I just wanted to open my own boutique. I think I have a little bit of a unique style, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. So that was that, and I kind of just never did it. And then I found myself, I was working with a ton of boutiques. I was modeling for them or working with them just on like my Instagram page. And I just remember, why am I not doing it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm capable. I know I want it. And so then Ryan and I got married, and I found out that his whole life, he didn't really want to sell women's clothing, you know, but he's always bought things and resold them. Like even when he was a little boy, like he'd buy the iPhones when they came out, and then he'd resell them. He'd buy like 5. So he's always had that kind of entrepreneur spirit as well. And just, I kind of tricked him into the women's clothing department, but he like loves it. So anyway, we kind of just were back and forth with it our whole first year of marriage. And one day he woke up, and I just remember him being like, okay, let's do it. Let's go get our business license. So we did. And yeah, that first year was a lot of learning. You know, it's things like you can't learn without just doing it and going for it. And at the time I had found out I was just barely pregnant when we first started. And I just thought, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't want to work for anyone. I don't want to have to get a sitter. So let's just do it and go for it. So yeah, that's how Talia was born. And we started online, and the goal at first was to get a brick and mortar, to open a store. I was a little bit familiar with Jane.com. I don't know if you guys have heard about it at all, but it's basically an online marketplace for boutiques to sell, and they do like 3-day sales. And so we decided to run a deal on Jane in October. So we'd only been open about 3 months, and the deal took off. And ever since then, we've just consistently been running deals on Jane.com, and it keeps us super busy. We're just a 2-man team. But yeah, like it's a really great way for us to make a lot of money really fast, and we just do it from home. We did have an office at one point, but we've moved, so their office is a little too far for us. But yeah, we just do it from home, and Ryan helps me with it just as much as I'm involved, so it's really great, and that's what we do.
So do you guys both own the company 50-50?
Yeah, I mean, we're married, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say we both work at it 50-50, and then the income's just our, you know what I mean? Like, we don't split the income because we just share
an income. Go yeah. I just like to talk about like legal terms and like what you guys have in the back end, just for our viewers, because a lot of people don't know that you really do have to decide when you register that, like exactly how the breakdown is going to be. Yep. So tell me a little bit about your products, where you get them, like your inventory. And I mean, do you store them at your home? Do you ship everything from your home and do all that?
Yep. So, okay. let's start with our inventory. So I don't know if you've heard of Magic. It's a place, it's a big, huge convention where all the buyers come every single year to find new products. That's what we do. Ryan's mom, he used to go to Magic every year, so he actually went as a kid with her, which is hilarious. Because now I'm dragging him to it. But we go in February and August, and that's every year. And it's in Las Vegas. It's like a 3-day show, and it's huge. Like Nordstrom's buyers go there. You know, like everyone's buyers. That's where they go to get their stuff. So if you're looking to open an online store or just a boutique in general, you're gonna want to go to Magic. That's where you're gonna find all of your wholesalers. So that's what we did. We went to Magic, and we just, I mean, we scouted out like who we wanted to work with. What was our brand? And that took a minute for us to figure out, like, what is our brand? We do a lot of home, like house and home, vintage Turkish rugs. We don't get those at Magic. We get those straight from Turkey. But yeah, so that's what you do. You go to this convention and you just scout. Like, you're like literally scouting. You're looking through line sheets, everyone's lookbooks, trying to find products off the brand that are in style and on, also a little bit different than what everyone else is carrying. You know, so that's what we do. That's what we get our inventory. When we go and we find our buyers, our wholesalers, we're pretty loyal to the same wholesalers. Like, we just buy from them because it keeps our brand consistent. You know, if we have the same, and we have a list of about 10, and they just send us their line sheets as they get new products. We just order straight from there, from email. We can call them up if we need to, but it's pretty you know, consistent, and they're pretty good about sending their line sheets over. As for inventory, so here's the deal with Jane. In order to run a deal, you have to have 100 units of one thing. So we do that. We'll order in 100 plus of one thing. What's nice is you can have variants in size and color, you know, and a little bit with style. And we just run a deal on Jane, and sometimes it will sell 5 shirts, and the next time we'll sell 1,000, you know. So what's nice is you can constantly rebook deals. So we'll rebook the same deal every 2 weeks. So in essence, you're like, okay, I don't want to buy 100 of one thing and then be stuck with them. But the nice thing about Jane is where you keep running the deal, eventually you're going to sell through them. So that's what we do. We try to find affordable items. We're pretty affordable. If you look at our shop, like, we don't mark things up too much. We're usually below other sellers' price point. We just look for high quality, affordable, and then a lot of times we do basics on Jane. Like, we just stick to like this shirt, for example. We sell this shirt on Jane. It's just a black t-shirt. Can you even see it? And
it's got some like design at the sleeves.
Just a tiny little ruffle. Like, I'm kind of like that though. Like, I like subtle things, you know. But yeah, like this shirt on Jane, we have it in like olive and yellow and cream and black, I think. And it's like a basic t-shirt with a tiny little ruffle, and people love it. They die over it because they're like, hey, I could wear that multiple times, 100 different ways, and it's $14. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but on Jane, I mean, we have to stock a lot, but we usually always sell through it.
Yeah, I mean, when I find a shirt that I like, I always like get it in multiple colors, almost always.
Yeah. I like that too. I'm like, hey, this is like my staple. I know it's gonna look good.
So tell me about, so when you go to this convention, Magic convention, do you buy everything there? Like, do you come back home with a crap ton of stuff, or do you have your suppliers that they'll supply it for you as you need it?
Okay, so that works too. We do have a couple suppliers that we can just order what we need. So like I'll run a deal on Jane. I'll get like 50 small blue shirts, let's just say, and 13 medium yellow, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just order those specifically from my suppliers, and they'll like 2-day ship it to me, and then I can ship it out. So that's ideal. Not all companies will do that. And then coming home, we don't come home with any inventory. So we order it there.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, so we just went in August. Everyone's presenting their line sheets for January 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ordering for January already.
Mm-hmm.
So then order them all at Magic, and then they don't charge our card till January when it comes.
Okay.
And then ship it all to us in January. And so then when we go in February, we're ordering for like fall.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like you're ahead of the trends trying to order for next year already, you know? So that's what we're doing.
So I have a specific question for you guys about startup costs, because I imagine as you've grown, like you go every year to a convention like this and you have a bigger budget for things that, you know, you can buy. But initially, you get your website. Is your website hosted by Jane, or no? You have your website and then you use Jane to sell through?
Yeah, so they're completely separate. So our website is just shoptalia.com, and we sell a lot on there, but it's more like boutique items. On and like our rugs and our home stuff and stuff like that. On Jane, more basic. So we've kind of separated them a little, because the Jane customer is looking for a deal. Therefore, we're trying to find a deal to sell to them, you know, which typically ends up being like stuff like I'm wearing. But on our website, it's more like boutique items. So we keep them a little bit separate. If you ever were to look at Jane, you'd kind of see like it's just many and multiple different months having 3-day flash sales on one item. So then people are like really eager to buy because they're like, oh my gosh, I only have 3 days. Like the price is going to shoot back up, you know? So that's kind of nice. And Jane, they charge 25%. So like you have to give them 25% of your sales from that deal, which is a lot, but where they have so many views a day, it's like, I'd rather sell one item and give them 25% than like 5 on the website at 100%.
It's a lot better than like Groupon, where you have to like mark your item down 50% and give them 50%.
No, we're not doing that. Jane's really awesome, and they have like a huge seller convention every year, and it's usually, I want to say, in like May. I think it's May, but it's awesome. Like they just teach you everything you need to know about it, give you advice, like it's like the best thing ever. And then as far as startup costs go, I want to say we spent like $12,000 from the start, which really isn't bad. It really is. I mean, for opening a business, right? I will say though, without Jane, I don't know that we would have made it. Just to be honest, I'm not saying that you can't or someone else couldn't, but Jane was a direction we didn't know we'd take, but we're so glad we did. It's just great money, like really, you know. And I just think sometimes it's hard to get noticed otherwise. Like Jane's already known, so it's great for us. But had Talia, we realized quick, like, hey, we need to figure out a way to be profitable, and that was just it for us. You know, with our budget, you have a higher budget, you can probably afford to, you know, spend more in marketing and whatever it is to make your boutique or store get noticed. But in our case, like, Jane was the way to go because we didn't have to pay them besides what we sold. You know what I mean? So we weren't out like extra. But
so I want to talk to you about marketing, because I actually know you because of your being an influencer on your Instagram, which I'm actually going to put up right underneath here. It's at Safari Natalia. All right. So I know you through your influencing on your Instagram account, Safari Natalia, and your blog, which is safarinatalia.com. And I'm going to put that up here a little bit later in the conversation for everyone to see. But I kind of felt like the shop came from that, but in actuality, getting to talk with you a little bit before we got live here, it's the other way around. First, you had Talia, and then you started doing the marketing yourself, Instagram marketing, and blogging. So tell me a little bit about how that has influenced and helped out with your business.
How the blog, social media helped out with Talia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the plan. When we first opened Talia, I was like, okay, at the same time, I'm going to start my blog, which I did, but I didn't post on it for a long time. But I did start it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start a blog. And at the time, it was going to be more like fashion oriented. But since becoming a mom, it's like, I love fashion, but it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's easier for me to blog and write about like my family life, my little one, you know what I mean? Mom tips, stuff like that. So originally I was like, okay, let's start a blog. Let's start a boutique. I'll blog about fashion and I'll link it to my store. So I just thought this is going to be great. It's just going to be this revolving circle, which it has been. I do promote Talia a lot on my Instagram. And it's been super helpful. But it's they're kind of separate, you know, like it's not didn't go as originally planned is what I should say. But that's just because I took my blog a different direction. I didn't really want it to be so fashion driven. But yeah, I'll say like now I do randomly post and I'll post about Talia and it will just drive business right over to the page. But what's also nice about it is I've learned that through just my own personal marketing of my own store, so I'm selling myself and I'm selling my store, we've gotten huge sales from it. You know, so then I thought, okay, well, if I'm doing it, and I only, at the time, I think I had like 8,000 or 9,000 followers. I don't remember. And I'm like, if I'm doing it and it's working, imagine like what happens when huge bloggers do it. So we tested it out, and we kind of gifted. You've probably heard of Carol Loren. She's a huge like fashion blogger. You should look her up. But she's darling, and she's from Utah. We gifted her a rug for her new house. And she posted about it. And like suddenly we sold 7 rugs in one day. Like it was insane. And they're not cheap, you know? So like it's just been awesome. So through my own personal experience and kind of trial and error, I was like, okay, social media marketing, like influencers, that's how you're going to sell your product. And it works. And it's huge right now. And everyone's on social media, you know? And so yeah, like it's a really great and easy, affordable way to drive sales to your business. So.
All right. If you had one piece of advice from your experience, what would you tell women today who are looking to maybe start a blog, start influencing, or start an online boutique?
Okay, so for both, I would say just go for it. Like, I'm not one to have shame or pride though. Like if I try something and fail, I'm like, hey, sweet, what did we learn? You know? And I just think that's kind of the mentality you have to have. And also, I think sometimes social media influencing and blogging gets a bad rep, and everyone's kind of like, oh, everyone's blogging, everyone this, that, or the other. But that doesn't mean that you don't have something different to offer. You know? Like even myself, like I had to talk myself out of not doing it. Because at first I'm like, okay, like everyone's doing it, but I feel like I have a niche for it, and I am a good writer. So I'm like, why not? Like, why wouldn't I do it? And I think too, something that's really important, especially with blogging, is just making sure you're being like 100% yourself. Like if you don't like a product or you don't really love something, then don't post about it and say you do. Because that's when people get bugged, you know, and like that's a really fast way to get unfollowed. You know, like
it doesn't show off as sincere or genuine.
Yeah, like the second people know that you're just doing it for money, or you don't really love the product or even use or have even tried the product, it's like, okay, well, why would I ever believe anything you're saying anyway? You know? So that's something that I try really hard. Like, I'm not going to post about it if I don't love it. And you can tell brands that in a nice way. You know, like I usually just say, I'm so sorry, but I don't feel comfortable posting about something that I don't genuinely love or I wouldn't genuinely use. Regardless of, like, I just won't. Because it's not that important. You know what I mean? Like, it's more important to me to just be myself, and I think that's what people love. I'm not saying like everyone loves me, but really, like, people are on a hunt for people who are real, you know? So be real, go for it. Who cares what anyone else thinks? And just do it. Like, sometimes you fail at things, you know, but you'll for sure fail if you don't ever try it, you know? And that was with Talia. Like, there were times that I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? But we learned so much from it, and that information and knowledge is really invaluable. Like, you can't learn it any other way than just doing it. So that's what I would say, just do it. And if anyone has questions, you can DM me, or just probably DM me would be the fastest way. But yeah, I feel like by just going for it and not caring what anyone else thinks, and people probably aren't very nice and say some mean things sometimes, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna do it, you know? And it's really great to just not hold back, you know?
So speaking of like influencing brands, obviously I get a lot of people that maybe want to work with me and my company. They want to be influencers for me. And a lot of them that I see like that are just, they haven't tried my product. They don't really like care. They've gone straight from sponsoring another product that was exactly the same, and now they want to do a different brand. And that for me makes it seem very like insincere. Like, okay, so you don't really like mine better than somebody else's. They just stopped giving it to you for free, and now you want to get it for free somewhere else. So anything, is this product valuable enough for you to pay for? And so that for me is like very obvious. And I was like, as somebody with the following, I'm like, don't your followers get sick of that though? Like, buy from this company. Wait, no, buy from this company. Like, I would just be shut off immediately. Like, if I.
So I run social media for a couple different companies, and one of them, it's actually Nani Swimwear. So you guys should check them out. It's actually built for women who are like athletic, the swimwear. So you'd probably love it. Like, it's athletic, adventurous, and cute. You know, it's kind of hard. It's called Nani Swimwear, Nani Swimwear. But
okay.
Yeah. So basically, if anyone has like that reaches out, if they're working with like a different swimwear company the week before, we're like, no, like posted about, you know what I mean? So we're pretty selective with it, and I think I kind of have the upper hand because I'm on both ends, you know, like I'm collabing with influencers for that company, but then I'm an influencer on the other end sometimes. So I kind of understand what brands want, and you're exactly right. Like, you don't want to just be giving away free stuff to anyone, you know? So as an influencer, like, would you buy this product? Would you know what I mean? And then buy it maybe and try it and use it, and then reach out, you know, and say, you know what, I love your products. I would love to work out a collaboration where we can both benefit from it if you're interested. You know what I mean? Like, I drink green tea, and I have for like 12 years. They're at the kiosks at the mall,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a year-long collaboration with them where I post every month for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I drank the product for probably 8 or 9 years before even working out a collaboration. Like, I loved it.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk really quick, one last thing for like advice for people getting going on being their own influencers and doing their own marketing for themselves. How did you really grow your following?
So there's a few things. I feel like I network a lot. Like, I know I go to things, I'm like constantly trying to meet people, like just in person, like, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So networking, going to events, talking to people. Like, I'm pretty outgoing, so I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, we should follow each other on Instagram. Like, I would love to, learn more about your life, whatever it is. And then giveaways. I do a lot of giveaways with just like local brands. I've done a couple international giveaways. I don't know if you've seen, where you probably haven't, where we kind of all, just like with local influencers, we kind of pitch in to pay for a trip for a winner or something, and people always want to enter those. But I kind of think the more local, like intimate one-on-one giveaways, like if I did one with health and fitness meals, it would be just us two,
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like people enjoy those a little bit more. But it's a really great way to grow your following because you're tagging.
Mm-hmm.
People are having to tag their friends. So with that being said, when they tag their friends, you want to make sure that your Instagram page and your feed is professional and branded. Because why would they want to keep following you if they're like, hey, what is this? So something that's really helped me with that is getting a preset. I know a ton of like big bloggers sell their presets online, and they're like $50 for a pack, which to me, like, I use the same preset on all of my pictures. If you look at my Instagram page, they pretty much all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pictures are different, but the editing is all the same, and that's just because of the preset. I bought my preset on Etsy for like $7. So I'm like, I don't need to go buy like a $50 preset. I just bought a $7 preset. And you just use that on the Lightroom app, which is super, super easy. If you have any questions on that, I would be happy to help you figure out how to use your preset. But yeah, so I use the same preset, and what's so nice is it brands my page. Like, if you've probably seen, Ashley, like my page, everything looks pretty cohesive, and that translates as professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So are presets like filters?
Yeah, they're like filters, but they're just a little bit more in depth. Like, it has the same. Someone's opening this one. Sorry. It has the same highlight and like contrast and exposure and tint. Like, it's every little detail is the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain. It's a little bit more in depth than a filter.
Mm-hmm.
You just have more liberty with it. But yeah, essentially, in essence, it's the same thing. And then yeah, just brand and collaborating with brands has really helped me grow my following. Like, I've collaborated with, let's see, now I'm having a brain fart. Like Lily J diaper bags. I think they have like 200,000 followers. So then they'll repost my picture. So that's something. If you're influencing blogging, if you give these big brands great content, they'll repost and tag you.
I reposted one of your pictures in your kitchen with our meals and your son.
Yeah, I remember that. I need to take more for you guys. But yeah, so like with health and fitness meals, like exactly that got me some followers, because it's like you just posted one of my pictures and tagged me. Do you know what I mean? And so all of these brands I work with, it's really important that I get them back great photos so that they'll repost it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's like, sweet, thanks for the product, and I posted for you, but like, hi, obviously we want them to post too. You know? So I mean, if you have a preset, your iPhone can take pretty good pictures. I'm not gonna lie. I have a nice camera, and sometimes I just use my iPhone because.
Can you use your preset on an Android?
Yeah, I think as long as you have the Lightroom app, you should be able to.
What's the app?
Is like Lightroom. I want to say it's like $10 a month, but it's so worth it. Like, I edit all my pictures in Lightroom.
All right.
Yeah, and then I think just another way is just media and like supporting roles and like support like Instagram and have kind of the mentality of like, what's the word? Like community over competition, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that helps. Like, people love nice people. And I think I'm pretty nice. So, like, I swear that helps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, that's what I would say. Just, like, the main things for me, let me just break it down. Consistent, cohesive feed.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtags. Oh, my gosh. You guys, you need to research hashtag strategies. Because I use hashtags, and it helps so much. Okay, so Instagram has an algorithm, as we all know. So if you use hashtags, then it can help boost you in the algorithm. So if you use these hashtags, let's say, which Instagram allows you 30 per picture, then your picture can get noticed by people who aren't following you. And then they go to your picture, and then suddenly they look at your account, it looks great and beautiful and creative, so then they follow. And then, because they liked or commented on your picture, you now have engagement on your picture, which will then boost you in Instagram's algorithm, helping you get more likes. Which is so dumb, right? Like, who cares really? But for some reason, Instagram works that way, and it helps if you're trying to make money and monetize your Instagram, you know, and your social media. So.
Awesome. Well, I learned some new apps that I'm definitely going to look into now that we have this conversation. But that's why I love these. I learn new things every single time I have an interview, and I always utilize it. So I love these interviews. So anyway, now that we're wrapping up, we're just going to flip around since I got to ask you a bunch of questions, and you're going to ask me a question.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, and I've been thinking about this because you're just so freaking awesome. What inspired you to start health and fitness meals? Like, hi, you're killing it. So I just want to know, like, kind of what inspired that?
It was super organic, actually, and I never really thought about going into business for myself, but what it was is I had already been in the fitness industry, and I was a personal trainer for years, and I had competed probably at this point in bodybuilding shows probably 3 or 4 times. I'm not exactly sure on that number, but anyway, so I worked as a personal trainer in a Gold's Gym, and I also doubled on the non-busy hours. I worked in the pro shop in the gym as well. And so I was always talking to the gym members. I had my nutrition program certified by a registered dietitian, and I was selling nutrition plans out of the pro shop and to my clients. And a plan is great, right? And I know you've seen my plans, they're great, but then you're kind of like, now how do I make this work into reality? And for me, I was a big food prepper. I would like weigh and measure out all of my food like 1 day a week. And
oh my gosh.
I would try to like teach my clients how to do it. I would show people, and a lot of for people, it's really hard to maintain. So I had somebody just like walk through the pro shop that I knew well from the gym, and they were like, hey, like, how much can I pay you for you to just like cook my food with your food? And I was like, I don't know, let me think about it and like run some numbers and get back to you. And it fully started with this one person, and I was like, okay, yeah, let me buy your groceries separately from mine and then just give you the receipt and then give you this much extra to charge. And our current prices are actually based off of that original idea where if there's a service fee and then the cost of food, and our customers don't see it, but it's basically like you pay for exactly how much food is in your meal based off of our price per pound from our supplier plus X amount is, what's going to cover our overhead and give us our profit. So yeah, that's literally, I started just like as a personal chef out of my home until I couldn't handle it anymore, and then hired some other personal chefs, and then moved into an industrial kitchen. And there we go. I never got a loan. I never had startup costs, honestly.
Girl, that is awesome. Seriously, it's like so crazy. It's genius is what it is, because I always have that same problem. Like, I'd even get like my macro count and buy the food, and then I'm like, I don't have time to weigh this. I don't have time to make it. I don't know what to do. So then I end up going to like Chick-fil-A. And it's like, no, can't do that anymore. So I love my health and fitness meals. You already know that, girl. But I love them. Like, I'm always like, everyone. Now you're so busy. It's like everyone needs to just learn how to do it on their own, and then just do the custom plans.
Well, thank you so much, Safari. I'm happy to have you. I learned a lot, and I got to learn more about you, which is great. So I will see you when you get your food on Wednesday, and thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Ash.
Have a good day.
Talk to you later. Okay, bye.